I look after travel, corporate travel for the bank globally,
Yes.
which is the First Rand Bank. I look after corporate travel for them. And on the other side, I'm the chairperson of the board for Global
Right.
Business Travel Association,
Okay.
known as GBTA. So
Yes.
that's what I do. Travel is very emotional.
Right.
So when you travel, you actually have to be accommodated so well. Basically, you can't leave your house and go sleep to a place where you're really not comfortable. I must say the travel industry is actually male dominant, basically,
Yes,
you know.
correct.
So what I've actually learned is that I must remain myself.
Correct.
I shouldn't try to be men. I shouldn't try to act like a man.
Yeah.
Because at times you feel threatened and you're like, I'm going to show them that I have a voice.
Yes, of
and
course.
it shouldn't be like that. You must
Yeah.
remain yourself. There is this something special about being female, you know, like you just be cool,
Yeah.
content,
Yeah.
state your facts as it is, and that's it, whether they hear you or not. But do not try to be men, you know. You overcome with facts. There's no one that can actually change the facts.
Anything that you think can really be worth telling in terms of any programs that the young ladies who are actually listening can benefit from?
So IBM technology company.
Yes.
So they offer data courses. They actually have various and quite a number of those courses. And everything now is actually turning to be technology. Everything, it's the language is all about technology and all that. So I think they've actually saw that gap, and that's what they actually doing. So you go to their website and you check the free courses offered by IBM and register yourself. It's for free.
Welcome back to another segment of Her Hour. My name is Zandi Soul, and thank you so much for spending time with us. We are together between 9 and 11 a.m. every Sundays, and this is Sunday School with Zandi Soul. So today we are going to get back into travel. And I know that with hospitality and anything that is surrounding tourism, it's quite broad. And for us to really be schooling each other and really getting more information as to how it all happens and the different associations that are really just working with or within tourism in South Africa and abroad. So I have a special guest, and it is her hour, so you know how we do it. So I have Maureen Masuku, who is the Global Business Travel, or within the Global Business Travel Association. So she's going to tell us exactly how that works, what her role is within travel, and you would be surprised that she's also within a bank, but really just relating more on travel. So without having to say a lot of things, because you know I can be going on and on about my guests and what they do, it's best to really just give it up to her to really just introduce herself and tell us exactly what she does. Hi Maureen.
Hi Zandi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, and I'm so
Great.
happy to have you here today.
Awesome.
I really am looking forward to having a conversation with you, and I know you from a different world in terms of travel. However, today I think it's really best for us to have a conversation just on a lighter side, as well as we will dive deep into other conversations about what you do and the importance of it and the challenges. But firstly, please tell us exactly what you do and what your role is within travel. I'll just place it as that.
Thanks, Andy, and thank you for the invite.
Yes.
So good to be here. I am Maureen Masuku, as Zandi has actually alluded. I look after travel, corporate travel for the bank globally,
Yes.
which is the First Rand Bank. I look after corporate travel for them. And on the other side, I'm the chairperson of the board for Global Business Travel Association, known as GBTA. So
Yes.
that's what I do.
Okay. All right. So travel, banking, what is your role exactly? I understand it's for corporate travel and that is global. So what do you do within that role?
Okay, so basically what I do, I'm actually the custodian of travel for the bank. So what I do, I write policies.
Okay.
I source accommodation or suppliers that we can work with as a bank. I put together systems and processes, SLA, with the travel agencies that we work with. I look at the system, the governance part of it, in terms of how the system should work, how the system should actually speak basically to our clients, which are the employees of the bank. And I also monitor the SLA in terms of deliverables, costing pertaining to what do we spend and who do we spend with within the space of travel. And also mostly, as you know, when you actually travel is very emotional.
Right.
So when you travel, you actually have to be accommodated so well. Basically, you can't leave your house and go sleep to a place where you're really not comfortable. So we do site visits, we select good hotel for our people, because what travel actually enables business to achieve those deals, everything. So if they're not comfortable when they have to go a certain due diligence or go negotiate a deal, it starts from travel. But then if they're not comfortable with what we actually sourcing for them, then they're not going to be productive, and the bank won't operate basically in terms of profits. So so that's essentially what I actually do.
Okay. And then is it only focusing on the business travel for your clients within the bank, or are we looking at leisure type of activities as well?
I like that question. So basically what we do what we call bleisure. So bleisure is really growing in South Africa, which is a good thing. So what we also do, we say to our clients, we encourage them, it's part of wellness. Look after yourself and take a break from everything. But what we say is that you are traveling the whole week. You're in Cape Town, you're doing like a proper due diligence, stressful and all that. And we have issued a ticket for you. We've paid for your ticket, for your flight ticket. So why can't you spend the weekend and come back on a Sunday? Just spend a day or two in Cape Town or in that destination and do your own thing. However, use our rates, our good rates, negotiated corporate rates, while you're actually doing your own thing. But then who is also gaining? You actually gaining, as a traveler or as an employee, and also us as a company, we also gaining, because when you come back, you're proactive, and what happens in your mind is that I work for a good company, they look after us, you come back more energetic, and all that you do, you work more, right?
Pretty much, yes.
So we do that. So we extend the same service as well to the families. So you can go with your family. You can take your family with. When you're done with the work or the job, let them join you for a weekend, or extend to a week and use the same rates. I
like that.
So it's part of wellness. It's part of well-being. People need to look after themselves.
They do.
Yeah,
they do. I agree with you 100% when it comes to that, and for the fact that it is a company that is looking at really allowing you to spend time with your family, because sometimes with business travel, what you really know about that is you're just there to work, so you don't get to experience that different area or that wherever else that you're going that you're not familiar with. So if you do have a few hours that you can spend with your family, or you just enjoying the sights of where you were currently based in terms of work, so that is pretty cool. I really like that.
Yeah, and especially for international as well. So what we also encourage our travelers to do, because any international business over 4 hours, you can actually you have to travel on business class for your comforts, right? However, what we say is that downgrade to economy class. If you make a price comparison of a ticket going to Dubai, for an example, on a business class, it's around 80,000, right?
Correct.
Then, but economy class ticket, you can pay up to 12,000 or 20,000. Then what we then say, go in economy class, pay that 20,000, and we pay for your accommodation, and we give you a subsistence allowance as well. And so you have at least, we pay for your 2 days accommodation, and we give you subsistence allowance for the 2 days. So what does that mean? That means you are on economy class, yes, it's actually like very, very uncomfortable to fly economy class, but at least you will have 2 days for yourself, like to see, to do the sightseeing, enjoy the Jumeirah Beach in Dubai and all that. And most of the people extend to say, no, give me your 2 days, pay for my 2 days, then I'll also pay for another 2 days. Then you have the whole week at leisure. After you've done the work, obviously you must start by doing the work.
Of course, yeah.
Then after doing the work, then
the main reason you're traveling is because of work.
Then you come back energetic, and your family can really join you, after your business meetings, and you enjoy the Jumeirah Beach. You do whatever. You go cross over to Abu Dhabi, 45 minutes to Dubai. Why not? So that's
amazing.
what we encourage our clients to do.
Okay, that's such a refreshing way of looking at things, especially when it comes to business travel, and also the challenges that you as a person, as an individual, in the role that you're in. Can you tell us about any of those challenges that you faced and you have really overcome those challenges in some way?
Yeah, so basically I must say the travel industry is actually male dominant, basically.
Yes, correct.
That's the first challenge that I think most of the women in tourism they actually go through or encounter. And also everyone, they think that they know travel. People, like most of the people, they'll tell you that I know travel, I can book travel on internet.
Yes.
I can put my own package together. It is not as easy as that. Then when you sell a package, they will go compare with what is on Instagram, on internet and all that.
Right.
But then there's no proper due diligence that has been done on those properties, So how I actually overcome that challenge, specifically the last one that I just alluded to, of where people will go compare what you have to offer and what is actually out there
on the internet.
The fact is that there's a flexibility if you actually book with a travel agent. When you book with the travel agent, you can always call them if the flight run out of fuel, delayed, something, and all that. You call them instantly and they put you on the next flight, accommodation, you get to the hotel is overbooked. I mean, hotels do overbook because it happens and we know why. Then you get there, you're stuck, you have no one to phone, you can't speak to internet. You can't. You've bought that package. Yes. Then there's a piece of insurance as well. We actually include the insurance. We include the risk. We've done a proper due diligence, in terms of those properties. There are those beautiful properties, but then they can't actually be booked for corporate because should anything happen in that property, you're gone. Let's say there's a bomb or something like that, like a tragedy, you can't actually, you're gone. It's done.
You can't be in business.
No. So they cannot be used for business. They specifically for leisure, where you can actually take your own risk. So we always try to put those facts, the flexibility, the insurance, and all those risk pieces and governance piece of it and all that to say, right, you say it is cheaper. Yes, it is cheaper, but there are a lot of exclusions. There's no flexibility on your ticket. So with the negotiated tickets, most of the time you can actually do name change. Where possible, we can actually do the date change without any additional collection or additional amount. Whereas when we've just booked there, it's like the system and there's no insurance, there's no cover. And at times you can't even, let's say you just connecting your own flight, you're going to Manchester, you will just book Joburg, London, then you book another flight for Manchester. Then it's a different airline. Your luggage, you don't actually consider those things. That you need to collect your luggage, go check in again to the local airline again. You must clear customs and all that. So those are the things that we always bring to people, that there are certain small components or elements that are actually added on this price.
True.
Then in terms of the male dominant and all that, so what I've actually learned is that I must remain myself.
Correct.
I shouldn't try to be men. I shouldn't try to act like a man.
Yeah.
Because at times you feel threatened and you're like, I'm going to show them that I have a voice.
Yes,
and
of
it shouldn't
course.
be like that. You must
Yeah.
remain yourself. There is this something special about being female, you know, like you just be cool, content, state your facts as it is, and that's it, whether they hear you or not. But do not try to be men, you know. You overcome with facts. There's no one that can actually change the facts.
No.
And at times you actually feel threatened. You walk in and it's all men, and you know, and you have to present.
Yes.
And immediately when you open your mouth, they're already against what you're saying. I've seen that. I've been in the industry for a long time and I've seen it all. So, but what you do, and what I always do is, like, I'll just ask them and say, I did that twice. I'm not ready to present because of the atmosphere in the room.
Really?
I personally feel uncomfortable, and can I rebook this meeting? Men are very clever. By virtue of you saying that, they already know what is happening. No, Maureen, let's discuss. And you just remain calm. I'm not comfortable today. Can we reschedule?
Okay.
And that's all. You don't have to be like them, you know.
Oh, masculine, and think you can just take charge. And
exactly, debate and
yes.
exchange words and all that. No,
It's not necessary.
No, it's not necessary.
I
remain
that.
myself.
Yes.
I put my facts on the table. If I feel that I don't want to continue with the conversation,
You don't.
I say it and I don't.
Okay.
Simple as that.
I love that. I really love that. And part of having to be doing what we do here on Her Hour is to really have that. Because once we establish who we are, it makes it a lot easier to deal with somebody else. Because once you have the courage and you are fully grounded in who you are, Lalela, nothing can ever come in and really just disturb.
Never.
Whether it's your peace or your comfort, or really just try to rearrange what you think of yourself. So I really love that. And I think we can use a lot of that in our shows to say, with Her Hour, you need to really be a person who's not going to be masculine to be heard.
Yes.
You don't have to be hard. You just need to remain yourself. And really,
Remain female.
Remain female.
Yes.
And another thing is, a whole thing about knowing who you are can really take some time. It's not an overnight thing, or after high school you are truly grounded in who you are. It's a learning experience. Because if I may just go back just a little bit. So as a female growing up, I'm speaking about myself here, you would find that you would hear a lot about love yourself, take care of yourself. To be quite honest, I didn't know what that meant. I had to learn exactly what it means when somebody says love yourself. I turned 40 this year and I am still loving myself.
Great.
And it still takes a lot as a human being to really understand what it means to be putting yourself first. Because sometimes that can be misconstrued as you just being arrogant. Because if you put yourself first, it means nobody else matters. You need to get your voice heard, but that's not the case.
No.
It has to really be something that you work on as an individual. And
correct.
I really love what you said, Maureen. It really is something that is inspirational. And whilst we're still in Youth Month, there's a couple of things that you and I had a chat about off air in regards to some programs that are going on. And maybe if you can just share some light on what type of programs, if they are, and if it's something that can really be placed out there to our viewers. We have over 52 stores that are listening to the show currently, and it is something that we take very seriously because within South Africa as well as regionally, Bogart man stores, people are shopping right now and are listening to our conversation, and it's something that can help somebody. You know what I mean? So going back to the fact that it's Youth Month, anything that you think can really be worth telling in terms of any programs that the young ladies who are actually listening can benefit from?
Awesome. So there are quite a number, but then there's one that I actually like, and I just want to register myself as well.
Really?
So it is IBM. So IBM technology company.
Yes.
So they offer data courses. They offer various courses about technology. Where you can register yourself. It's for free. You don't actually pay anything. And you learn during your time, and you register and you study. They actually have various and quite a number of those courses, and everything now is actually tending to be technology. Everything, it's the language is all about technology and all that. So I think they've actually saw that gap, and that's what they actually doing. So you go to their website and you check the free courses offered by IBM and register yourself. It's for free.
Wow.
Quite a number of courses in there. Yeah.
In different sectors.
Exactly.
Okay, so that is an interesting one if you are listening. And of course, it is going to be information that is ongoing in terms of the type of support and what we can do to get the word out there. Because more than anything, it is about encouraging and really sharing the knowledge. So another reason why we call it Sunday School with Zandi Soul is because we are trying to get a lot of information from the people that are joining us in studio for you to be able to learn from it. So it's the knowledge sharing that we do also take very seriously. And I am so glad that we got to share something that is outside of our conversation in terms of where it can be beneficial to the youth out there. So talking about the youth and talking about June, this is the last Sunday of June, by the way, and we're going into July. And when is your birthday?
October.
Oh, so it's summer, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I just needed to throw that in so that I can understand your character as Maureen. So October on what date?
27.
27.
I'm a Scorpion.
Yes. I know a lot of things about Scorpions, but Asikolab.
Okay.
Scorpions, they know what they're doing. They're very determined.
Perfectionist and
all of those things. But they're awesome people. Okay, so we've discussed Youth Month and what we can actually be able to provide to the youth out there in terms of opportunities. So that is IBM. You go to their website, you'll be able to get different courses in different sectors, and the registration is free. So please just educate yourself with information that is so beneficial to you, because this really does work. And then it's also Men's Health Awareness Month, and you know, it's one thing having to be looking at men and thinking, are they aware of their mental health? Are they aware of what's happening around them? But for me, I think mental health is mental health.
Correct.
It affects you. We really need to be discussing what men are going through. That will affect you if it's your brother. It will affect you if it's your husband. It will affect. So it is something that is affecting everybody currently. And what would you say is anything that Maureen does? And yes, I'll be biased because you're female. What would you say you do to keep yourself intact mentally?
So let me just go back to mental health.
You wanna talk about that?
Talk about that.
Okay.
Because I'm a mother of three boys and four with my twin sister's son. So actually I'm raising 4 boys, very handsome boys. And what I've actually realized is that men are more sensitive than women.
Do you think so?
Yes, I do. But they act as if they're not, because the community or the society doesn't allow them to express their feelings. They human like us. They have blood and emotions like we do.
Correct.
They want to be looked after the way we do.
Right.
Why there's such a big problem about men's health and mental health and all that? Because they can't express themselves. They're not allowed to, you know,
openly.
If a man is actually staying or living with an abusive wife or abusive partner, when they go report to the police station, they throw you, they laugh at you while you're actually bleeding internally. And what does that happen? We actually creating angry men. This actually starts from raising a boy child, whereby, in our society, you will find a boy child walking like naked on street, like playing. He's a boy. Don't worry. But then if it's a girl, then they dressing her up. And they will say, no, the boy can sleep on the floor and the girl can sleep on the bed. And this child start to be bitter from there, while growing up, that no one actually looked after me. I was sleeping on the floor while my sister was sleeping on the bed. And they start developing that anger towards women as a whole. Then you find them beating women, doing all these funny things to women, not actually being aware that, this thing started while I was actually young. So I want to encourage every woman that is actually raising a boy child. It starts when they're young like that. Give them the same love that you would give to a girl child, the same attention, that there is nobody that is better. When going back to the Bible, because it's Sunday, when God created Adam and Eve, he created both of them, and the Bible says he breathed to both of them the same breath. There was no better, and he blessed both of them. That's what the Bible says. He says, go and multiply to both of them. So we have the same blessing, like it's equally. Okay, I'm not talking about equal rights and all that. Men deserve a certain respect, women deserve. But then we are created the same. There's no one that is special or created in a special way. Man is created to protect, to love, and the woman is created to be humble and to give that love back, right? But then she can never give the love if the love is never deposited.
Correct.
So that means the man needs to deposit this love. But where this man gets this love, it's from the foundation of how they are raised and from home. They are sensitive. And men also want you, Zandi, your men want you to buy him a gift. As you also want to be bought a gift. Exactly.
And it's so fascinating how we do find men that are very vocal in how they want to be treated. So I can very much put my hand up and say, I know somebody that has really vocalized in saying, this is how I want you to show me love. This is how I want you to treat me.
Yes.
And I was like, but it's mostly women that are actually so vocal in saying exactly how they want to be treated. And
I
here
respect
you are.
that man.
Me too.
Yeah.
I developed a huge respect for having to be vocal in stating exactly how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Because that just sets a tone where now you know exactly who you're dealing with. So it was not about, maybe or maybe no. It was set, and I understand exactly who it is that I'm dealing with. So I hear you, and I really take in a lot in terms of how men need to be treated, not so different to a girl child, because a boy also needs that love and attention as we'll provide to our little girls.
Yes.
It's just that we've seen a lot of take a girl child to work, or a lot of things that are really related to girl childs or girl children. And we really need to be making a point of...
We need to balance.
Yes, of
and
creating
basically
that balance.
Where we should actually be investing more love, it is male, because they need to love back.
Yes.
They need to give back this love to a woman.
Correct.
So if they were never loved, they would never love. That is why it's easy for them to kick a woman. But then if that love was actually instilled to them,
Yes.
and you keep on reminding them. I remind my boys, I always say, you get married tomorrow. Yes, I am important to you, but I'll never be your queen ever again. Once you get married, your woman is actually your queen.
Correct.
If you don't want a woman to disrespect you, to cheat on you, to see you as that thing, look after them. Make sure that they are well taken care of. The day I'll be mad at you is when you treat a woman badly. So that's what I actually tell my boys, to say to them, look after any and every woman that you actually meet. It is very, very important.
It is.
Men go through a lot, and we don't talk about it. They are so bad. It is so bad in a way that we have male that constantly get abused every day when they get home by women. But they can't even talk about it. When they get to work, they are on these high positions. When they get to work, dalala, if you're a woman, you're dead. Yes, they will show you. They will take it to exactly, because at home they're not men, they can't demand respect. But here at work, because here you're actually begging for this bread, you don't have any source of income. You will actually take anything, and they feel good with that. Because like at home,
it's feeding something that's missing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But where they taking it to, where they can be leaders, anyway, they can be leaders. Then they start being bullies and all that.
Things.
Exactly.
Yes, I think what needs to really be introduced is a lot of programs, and I know it's probably something that is out there, but having a lot of programs that are focused on male grooming, where we're not really honestly being focused on grooming your females. It's equally important. Like, let's just have that equality when it comes to both males and females.
Correct.
And Maureen Masuku, if you've just joined us, she is our guest for her hour. This is Sunday School with Zandi Soul. We are together up until 11 a.m. Please make sure that you download our app so that you can be able to watch the previous shows if you need to be catching up on them, as well as having to be chatting on us, because we really want to hear from you and your comments, as well as what you would like to see. Because when we say we're chatting on our app, it means that we're giving you an opportunity to actually tell us on what is it that you are more interested in seeing. And there's also all sorts of specials, and and on our app itself, you can be able to shop the Bogart Man apparel. So there's plenty more for you to see on our app. So please make sure that if you're not listening from an app, you need to be downloading one and making sure that you tune in to all the different shows, and especially on Sunday School with Zandi Soul. I'm having such a great time with Maureen today. And yes, I like the fact that with the conversations that we are having, it's both emotional, it's encouraging, and it is something that we all need to hear. So it's not even something that is coming from you that we've never heard before.
Yeah.
But the fact that we keep hearing it, it's more like having to be teaching people that don't forget, this is important. So if it's something that was at the back of your mind, so now we're just putting it forward, and we're saying, please make sure that you need to be aware of certain things that are happening around you, and you being able to take care of yourself, because it gives you a point of communication with everybody else around you when you are okay yourself, because it has to start with you.
Correct.
So you spending your time with us and really just making sure that you are kept on tune here on Bogart Radio. My name is Zandi Soul. I really do appreciate, and I'm grateful that you took the time to actually spend with us. So before we leave, and because I'm not even sure if it's almost an hour, because we've been having such a nice conversation. We're going to get into the type of music that you listen to, okay? Yeah. Because what we do here on Her Hour is we have to include the music, because it's, I don't want to say it's a soulful show, but it has to have that little bit of something.
Because you love music.
Okay. All right. You're not wrong. So I am a lover of soul music. Soul and R&B is something that, yes, I started with this in high school.
Oh,
Was
really?
it in primary school where I used to write? Remember people used to write songs?
Yes, and you will imitate and sing along.
Yes. And then cassette Tiboti Brandy, when she says the boy is mine, you want to write that down so you don't miss anything else that she's going to say next. So I was that girl. I used to write the songs, and I used to sing the songs, and I used to really be on Channel O and all of those other music programs that you'll find.
It is a calling.
Is it? Maureen, don't start. Please don't start, because you know me, I'm going to take it and I'll drive it.
It is a calling.
So that's what I used to do, and I'm still doing that in terms of having to listen to different sounds. And my interest now is knowing what songs you listen to. Do you listen to gospel? Do you listen to amapiano? It's Sunday, but yes, some people do listen to amapiano on a Sunday.
Yeah.
What do you listen to?
So you ask a question about how do I fit my mental states and all that.
Yeah.
So music is part of that.
All right.
And the type of music that I listen to, definitely gospel. That's the first one.
Yes.
Then soul music.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I'm with my twin sister, then we'll go my piano and
all sorts.
Everything, all sorts, because we just go crazy, you know. So but mostly it is soul music and the gospel music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have selected 3 songs. I have Uxoli Mngwango.
Yes.
Liyasebenzela.
Liyabasebenzela. Abalikholwayo.
Liyabasebenzela balikholwayo.
Yes.
And then we have Lionel Richie, Deep River Woman.
Yes.
And then we have Shirley Brown, lastly, with Woman to Woman.
Correct.
In any of those 3 songs, is there a story there? Maybe Uxoli really spoke to your heart when you are feeling emotional, like you said, with your mental state. Music is something that really just plays a huge role in having to either make you more happy or calm you down. Because it can do both. So with any of the 3 songs, which one speaks to you the most?
So basically all of them, the 3 of them. So Oli Liyabasebenzela balikholwayo, it just reminds me of that where I am or what I do or what I have in my life, it's through the grace of God.
Amen.
And it's because of the faith that I have. So I have so much faith.
Yes.
Anything and everything that I do it with faith. I actually apply my faith.
You live
I
on
do
faith.
things that, you know, some people will say, this is not possible. I don't think you can achieve this. I don't think you can get this. Or, you know, this has never happened. But I get all those things and I achieve those. It's because of my faith. So, Poli says, Liyabasebenzela abalikholwayo. That means those who trust and who believe in the Lord. That faith works for them.
Correct.
So it just talks to me. It just reminds me that I'm where I am. I have everything that I have, even my kids, everything that I have. It is it's by His grace.
Yes.
You know, it is by grace. Simple as that.
Love
then
it.
Deep River Woman, it just calms me down. You know, like when I'm home cooking and, you know, like having my me time, smiling, dancing, those little movements that would have in your kitchen.
That's
and, you know, like the time to love yourself, you know. Then Shirley Brown, Woman to Woman, it's my dad's song, my stepdad's song. He actually loved the song, and my twin sister loved the song so much. So each time I listen to the song, it just reminds me of my uncles. You know, they used to play such songs on Sunday, you know, when they're doing like several colors cooking. Then they will be playing such music. So it actually takes me back to my hood, you know. Yeah, in terms of where am I coming from? Yeah.
And I'm glad that you did not forget where you're coming from, because
Definitely.
if that's one of the songs that you enjoy still, it means it's a constant reminder that you have of how important where you grew up is to you.
Yes.
And yes, it keeps coming into our conversation, the fact that you're a twin.
Yes.
How is that for you?
You're amazing. I don't know how you live without a twin, without having a twin. How are you?
Maybe my twin is somewhere, you know, or somewhere we still need to be finding each other so that we can really be doing things together.
Yeah, you know, like I don't actually imagine my life without a twin, like without my twin. I don't know how I would have survived without her. She's my best friend. She's my sister. She plays a mother role. She plays a father role. She plays a friend role. We do everything together. We travel together.
I like that.
We're in the same professional. We have same qualifications. Like we're twins, right?
Like it's another you.
It's just me. Yes, it's another me. We talk when I'm driving in the morning. We will be having conversations from the time I leave the house until I get to the office. When I leave the office, I will call her, and she will call me. When I'm in meetings or something happens, she'll be like, guess what, this is what is happening. Then okay, do this.
Oh my God.
So she's my basically another set of mind or another set of thinking. If I have to change my kids' schooling, I'll be like, what do you think?
You don't need
Do you
friends,
think
Muslim.
this? We share friends. Zandi would be my friend today. I'll tell her that I
Yes.
met her friend, and I'll be like, "Hi, we're not the choice of your friends," but I'll get along. Then we
Yeah.
share friends. So her friends are my friends. My friends are actually her friends.
Oh, I love
So
that.
her house is my house. My house is her house.
Oh
so
my
it's
goodness.
simple as that.
I
So
love it.
it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you where it actually gets tricky when you grow up. Now thinking of reality that one of you will actually have to depart.
Yes.
You know, I think that's the worst. And we started talking about it. It's a very difficult topic. Because we've seen it happening
Yeah.
within the family, because in our family we have a lot of pairs, and
Oh, you have a lot of pairs at home?
yeah, we do have few. So
Oh, wow.
in our like granny's generation
yes,
and all
yes.
that. So it's I think it's a sad reality that we talk about, and we always say, who should go first? And she'll be like, you're the strongest, I wouldn't survive. And I'll be like, no, I wouldn't survive.
No,
I must go first.
Neither one would.
So
Yeah.
like we always say, it would be so nice to go together.
Yo,
Because the other
guys.
one will never have like fun or like, imagine, like, you create these memories, and the memories were actually created when you were from the
In
time
the
you were
womb.
born.
Yes.
So like, who can separate that? How
Oh
do
my
you separate
God.
that? So
Okay.
culturally, I believe that twins need to be separated.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's starting to make sense that one will actually grow up with the mom and dad, and the other one, they will take her
To an
to the
extended
uncle
family.
extended family,
Yeah.
so that they don't get
As
close,
too
as too
attached.
close,
Yeah.
attached, because
Yeah.
I promise you, if one leaves, the other one loses it. But then, all these things takes God's grace, so
It
one
does.
needs to pray
Yeah.
about, because our kids will still need one of us to remain as a mother, yeah.
It's actually a very difficult conversation. You mentioning it, I just trying to imagine exactly how that works. But yeah, we'll
Yeah.
concentrate on the goodness and the grace of God having to be keeping you together.
Exactly.
And for you to continue with the
Yes,
experiences that you have,
yeah.
travel together,
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is super amazing, and I applaud you for really having that courage in your environment as a professional, and the balance that you have created also in our conversation in terms of family and work. And I can see that you're very passionate about what you do,
I am.
and
definitely.
you've been in the business for
I
much
love
long.
it.
Okay.
Love
I
it.
love the fact that you love it, because it will show in the work that you do, and I just want for it to encourage the people that are listening, and for the younger version of myself and yourself to actually look at it as a profession that they could really be interested in doing. And we did speak of the opportunities that are available via IBM in terms of different sectors that you can log on to their website and just try and see what is it that speaks to you as an individual. So with that being said, do we have more time, or is that we don't? This has been the best day ever. I wish everybody that is listening a beautiful Sunday, a blessed Sunday, and we are starting a week in July, and may the month bring you nothing but incredible blessings, as well as you bringing yourself closer to yourself. So more than anything that you can attach yourself to, just bring yourself closer to yourself. It's really important, because the outcome is you having to be a blessing to others. So thank you so much for joining us, Maureen. It has been truly amazing.
Thank you so much, Zandi, for
Thank you.
having me.
I
And to the
appreciate
listeners,
it.
thank you.
Thank you so much, and we are out. Happy Sunday. This is Sunday School with Zandi Soul. Cheers.
Bye.